You have uncovered the glyphs. Very good. It is time we awoke the Oracle from its deathly slumber. O great Oracle, grant us the knowledge we seek. What evil rises in this land? The prophecy is fulfilled. The guildsman is here. You follow the footsteps of the one who bore the mask you carry. Jack of Blades has awakened the dormant power of the Summoners. He has used the blood of your family to feed his new shell beyond the Bronze Gate. But now his soul mask is in your hands. You must use it to feed the Archon's shrine and open the gate. Go now and face your destiny. So Jack has cheated death once more. Never have we encountered a being like him. I do not envy you. The Bronze Gate has long been a symbol of doom in this land. Return to Briar Rose at the shrine. Perhaps she can tell you how to use Jack's soul mask. I must return to the guild. May fate smile on you.
Hey everybody, today we're doing a really quick lore video on the Snowspire Oracle from Fable. Snowspire Oracle is a large monument created by 4 will users in the 3rd Archon Kingdom. It is located in Snowspire Village of the Northern Wastes in Fable Lost Chapters. After completing the associated quest, the hero of Oakvale is able to ask the Oracle about several things, including the creatures and history of Albion, and, if the hero chose to spare them, the fate of Thunder, Whisper, and Teresa.
During the 3rd Archon Kingdom, it was ordered that an enormous monument must be created from an extremely large slab of rock. 4 will users, Yeron, Murik, Kalran, and Avisto, created the Snowspire Oracle and the 4 glyphs that contain the knowledge of how to use its power. The objective of this huge monument was to prepare the kingdom for the future, while keeping record of the present and past.
Thousands of years later, the Oracle was under imminent attack, so the 4 glyphs were buried in the necropolis near Snowspire Village, and there they remained, waiting to be found.
Now, after years of peace in Albion, the ancient Jack of Blades once again manages to spread evil in the world, so the hero's primary task is to defeat Jack. Upon reaching Snowspire for the first time, Scythe asks the hero to find 4 glyphs that will allow them to speak, because there's always a him in that game, with the Oracle in the quest, Oracle of Snowspire. Finishing the quest permits the hero to perform the Yeron, Morik, Kalran, and Avisto expressions, allowing him to ask about 4 things respectively: the people of Albion, Albion lore, the creatures of Albion, and the history of Albion. So, the Oracle is basically us, just saying.
Yeah, we are the Oracle of Snowspire. Just that is canon. That is canon lore at this point.
Yeah. So if you just come to us and use YMCA, then we'll tell you everything about the people of Albion and the creatures of Albion and the lore of Albion. But that is pretty much the main part of the video. There's not much, I guess, in terms of trivia either, other than the whole YMCA link with the expressions that you use. Being an expression in Fable as well, the hero makes like a physical gesture as well, and they literally are the physical gestures of the YMCA song. Arms up in the air for the Y, arms in the shape of an M, in a C and an A, and all that kind of stuff. Which is, you notice that anyone that's obviously, I think anyone in England and probably America too, at least. I think most of the English-speaking Western world will definitely know this song. It's like a classic that's played at every wedding or year 6 disco, and it is quite funny that straight away that's what they put in there. But I've got a feeling there's a reference to Mount Rushmore in there. I could be wrong with the whole third era. I want to know if that's something that I'm just making up in my head, because the Mount Rushmore being 4 presidents, sculpted in the face. But I think that it was made. I don't think it was made in like a third era. I think it was made like 100 years ago, rather than.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah, like in the grand scheme of history, I don't think it was that crazy long ago.
Yeah, construction was between 1927 and 1941, so definitely not. Like definitely not quite the same. But there is maybe an element of, I don't know, maybe that's a small reference to it being four. You know, like a four corners type thing.
Yeah.
So these four will users who we don't know them for anything else other than for making the Oracle of Snowspire.
Yeah, so they must have been like fairly powerful, I guess, if we wanted to talk about them for a second. They must be like somewhat powerful, but obviously we've just never really received anything, like any information that's worthwhile on them. I don't even think there's any books about them or anything.
Well, there's not much about this era, was there? This Archon's age.
It's all pretty like dark history, a bit murky. We don't really know anything about that era at all. But yeah, they must have been fairly powerful if they created like the Oracle together. But yeah,
is there also a reference to Hogwarts as well?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like the guild basically is like Hogwarts, isn't it? Like
it is a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I did like the Oracle. I thought that was a good addition in the Lost Chapters, like game. I did enjoy sometimes finding out about the fates of Teresa and all the rest. But I also just the idea of like this powerful thing that's like far up in the northern wastes that you have to go and ask for guidance to. It's very like classical Greek literature, isn't it? Like the Oracle at Delphi.
Even the name Oracle is like definitely makes me think about the Oracle at Delphi and all that. So it's definitely it's a pretty like inspired take to put in like a Fable story, but I think it's pretty cool and it fits pretty well into sort of the world. It feels natural and works pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a cool little thing, and I think that pretty much brings to an end this lore video. There's not an awful lot to be said, but definitely a cool feature, and let us know what you thought of the Oracle, what kind of questions you would have liked to have asked it that weren't factored into the game. I know that there's a lot that we would like to have asked based on stuff that we're not told, so it would have been great, but it's a cool thing, the Oracle.
Yeah, I'd love to ask the Oracle when Fable 4 is coming out, but unfortunately that isn't built into the game. They didn't have that in mind.
Or why Peter Molyneux failed in some of his promises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
With that, we'll see you guys in the next lore video.
And don't forget YMCA.